Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. All right, so the past few days when we have been doing our trig stuff, we've been finding one angle or one side. Today, when we do our trig stuff, we are going to have the directions be given as solve the right triangle. And now when it says solve the right triangle, that means we need to find all of the missing side lengths and all of the missing angles. Okay? So all of the missing sides and all of the missing angles. So for example, in this picture, angle G is missing. So we need to figure out what angle G is. And we also see that side FH is missing and GH is also missing. So there's actually three things that we need to find in this triangle. All right. So the first thing I'm going to find is just what's on the top of my list here. I'm going to do GH first. So I got to find it. I don't know what it is yet, so I'm going to call it X. So I labeled side GHX. That's what I'm going to find first. Now, this is the angle that they give us. So this is the angle we're going to use. And according to that angle, if I think of my O, my A, my H, the side across from my angle is always my opposite. So this is going to be my O. The side across from my hypotenuse or across from the right angle is always the hypotenuse. And the one that's left over is our adjacent. So according to us finding this side and us knowing the hypotenuse, so we want to find the opposite and we know the hypotenuse. So O and H, that means we need to use the sine function. So I'm going to set it up the same way we have been. So we'll have the sine of the angle equals our opposite side over our hypotenuse. And now remember from there what we did is we cross multiplied. So 1 times x is just x. And I'm going to have 7 times the sine of 25. And notice x is all by itself, so I don't need to do anything further than that. I just need to type 7 times the sine of 25 into my calculator. And notice I'm not solving for the angle, so I don't need to do that -1 thing. I can just type it in exactly as it is. And I'm going to get 2 let's do 2 decimal places, 2.96, because it's going to round up. So this side length right here is going to be 2.96. GH. All right. So we got one side found. Now let's find the next side. Let's find FH. So this time I'm going to call it Y for my variable because I don't want to use X again. Okay. So same thing. I already have this angle chosen, and I already know what my O, my H, and my A are. This time, I know my hypotenuse, and I'm trying to find the adjacent. So this time I have the A and the H. So this means this time I need to use the cosine function. So I'm going to set it up the same way. I'll have the cosine of our angle equals our adjacent side over our hypotenuse. And again, I'm going to do my cross multiplication. So I'm going to have 1y equals 7 times the cosine of 25. And again, notice y is all by itself, so all I need to do is type this in. So I have 7 times the cosine of 25. And it's not going to round up this time, so it looks like I will have 6.34 for my side length. So FH is 6.34. All right, so last thing we need to find then is angle G. Now, I could set up another trig function and do that inverse thing, like this thing, but I don't need to. Okay, so I'm going to call this angle Z. Again, just calling it another variable. And I know that all of the angles in a triangle, any triangle, doesn't matter what, add up to 180. So I know this angle, which is 25 degrees, plus this angle, which even though it's not written, I know is 90 degrees. That's what that symbol means. Plus this angle right here, which I'm calling Z, has to all add up to 180 degrees. And now all I have to do is solve for Z. So let's see, 25 plus 90 gives me 115. So if I clean those up. And then to solve for Z, I'm going to subtract 115 from both sides. And I'm going to get Z equals 65 degrees. In other words, our Z was angle G. So angle G is 65 degrees. And there we are. We solved the triangle. We found both of the missing sides, and we found the missing angle. All right, let's do another one. All right, so first thing we're going to find, it looks like, again, it doesn't matter what you do, what order you do. I'm going to just go in the order they give me. So I'm going to call side DC, I'm going to call that X. And now we need to figure out our O, our A, and our H. So this is the angle they give us, so this is the one I'm going to look at. So we know the side across from the angle we're looking at is our opposite. We know the side across from our right angle is our hypotenuse. And then the one left over is our adjacent. All right, and in this case, we want to find our O, and we know our A. So O and A means we're going to use tangent. So I'm going to have the tangent of my angle equals my opposite side over my adjacent side. And now I'm going to go ahead and cross multiply. So I have 1x equals 3 times the tangent of 69 degrees. And again, notice that x is all by itself, so I'm just going to type this into my calculator. So 3 tan of 69, it's going to round up to 7.82. So side DC is 7.82 units. All right, so next thing, let's go ahead and find side EC. So I'm going to call that Y, just so it's a different variable name. And this time, when I look at what I know my adjacent again, and I'm trying to find my hypotenuse. So adjacent hypotenuse means we're going to use cosine. So this time I'll have the cosine of my angle equals my adjacent over my hypotenuse. And this time when I cross multiply, I'm going to have 1 times 3, which is 3. And then y times the cosine of 69. And notice this time y is not by itself. Y is being multiplied by the cosine of 69. So I need to do one more step to solve for y this time. So right now, if I'm multiplying these two things together, in order to undo that, I need to divide both sides by the cosine of 69. So then we'll get y equals 3 divided by cosine 69. So we have 3 divided by the cosine of 69. Oops. And again, I'm not going to round because that third number is not bigger than 5. So you'll get 8.37. And then again, the last one, I could set up another trig expression, but I don't need to. Again, I'm going to call this angle C to be Z. And again, I know all of the angles in any triangle add up to 180. So I know this angle plus this angle plus this angle all have to add up to 180. And now again, I'm just going to solve it. So 69 plus 90 is 159, I believe. And now, in order to solve for z, I'm just going to subtract 159 from both sides. And when I do that, I'm going to be left with z equals 21 degrees. So angle C is 21 degrees. All right, so solving right triangles today, we're finding both the missing side lengths and the missing angle. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I miss you guys. And hopefully I will see you one day soon.